Moved 130 pounds to beat Hanna Grisewood. Junior out of Warsaw, New York, coming out there for King. Her opponent, Korai Sugiyama. Freshman out of Pocatello, Idaho. Wrestling for Campbellsville. Grisewood second at last year's WCWA Nationals, losing to her teammate Sarah Hildebrandt in the finals. And yes, there are multiple entries per team at the WCWA Nationals, somewhat similar to the NAIA. Warsaw rings a bell for you wrestling fans out there. Yep, same place. The Paddock brothers, Ian Paddock, Paul Paddock, Burke Paddock. I think there's another one there I'm forgetting. Get a fresh start here, 48 seconds into period number 1. Grisewood, a bit of a joker amongst her teammates. Nicknames Hanna Banana, and actually likes to throw bananas at her teammate Ashley Iliff, much to Iliff's chagrin. But right now we're not throwing bananas. We're not really throwing much of anything right now, as both wrestlers in the center of the mat, working for hand position. And there's a passivity against Grisewood. And we'll restart the bout. That's a passivity warning. And the next one against Grisewood will put her on the shot clock. Sugiyama tries a head throw. Now Grisewood with a body lock. Good position here. And going to drive Sugiyama out of bounds. That'll be a 1-point step out. So Grisewood will take a 1-0 lead. Just over the halfway point in period number 1 here at 130 pounds. Sugiyama trying to go underneath with a fireman's. Countered by a front headlock from Grisewood. No action on her feet. We'll blow the whistle. We'll restart again. And you'll see a lot more whistles and stoppages from the official in international style wrestling. Notice there is if nothing's happening, they're going to restart it and make something happen. Or at least give the athletes a fresh start to try it again. There's another fireman's carry attempt by Sugiyama. We saw that so well last bout with Kayla Miracle. Now trying a little whip over. We're going to have some points on either side here. Sugiyama's going to get 2. Okay, not confirmed for Grisewood. Looked like she could have scored 2, and then Sugiyama coming through with either the 2 on the counter exposure or the reversal. A reversal, 1 point in international wrestling, but that'll end the second period. Excuse me, that'll end the first period. Only 2 points out of that exchange, and the referees are going to come have a conference about it. During this 30-second break, Jason Mormon shadowing the table to see what's going on. Lee Miracle offering some instruction to Korai Sugiyama. Stephanie Hampton there, helping loosen out the muscles. Hanna Grisewood, one of 4 Hannas we will see in the bout. Popular name for women's wrestlers in this duel, it seems. 10 weight classes in the WCWA. Typically international wrestling using kilos, but we're in the United States. We're going to use pounds. going to start the final period, the second period. 2-1 lead for Korai Sugiyama. Key here to avoid a passivity calls control the center of the mat and keep your head up. And there's a passivity warning against Grisewood. Passivity does not carry over from the first period. Grisewood tries to go underneath, countered with a front headlock by Sugiyama. Trying to snap and spin. So Grisewood hanging on that near elbow. And the action goes out of bounds. However, both wrestlers down on the mat, and you only get the push-out point in freestyle and Greco-Roman wrestling. We don't really need to mention Greco here because we're not wrestling Greco, but if the athletes are down on the mat and they go out of bounds, and neither is under attack, they will not award a push-out point. So if you're on your knees, you're not going to give up the point. Referee now admonishing Sugiyama for interlocking of the fingers. That is not allowed in international wrestling. I like to call it the mercy rule, but for completely different ways you might understand a mercy rule. Some of us might remember that game from when we were kids, if they haven't banned any kid from playing that these days. Sugiyama working the 2-on-1 Russian tie, or as they say in Russia, just the tie. Halfway through, action towards the edge, and we are going to get a push out. 1 point for Grisewood. That'll tie it up 2-2. And if we go to criteria, folks, this is what we were explaining earlier. Sugiyama has a 2-point action compared to Grisewood's 2 1-point actions. So Sugiyama currently has criteria. If this bout ends without another point, and with a minute to go, the onus is on Grisewood here to score. The 1 2-point move is better than the 2 1-point moves. As the United World Wrestling rulebook indicated, when the rules changed, and in my honest opinion, the rules changed for the better. Instead of the tennis-style scoring, which made a lot of international wrestling virtually unwatchable. Now we got a lot of action here. Another double leg, and Grisewood can't quite penetrate. And he's going to try to drive Sugiyama to the edge. She's going to wisely circle in. Tries to bounce. Short time. Grisewood trying to drive in again. And we'll get a fresh start. 12 seconds remain in the bout. Short time. Grisewood needs to score. In on the leg. And that will do it. Big upset here. Korai Sugiyama will knock off the returning national finalist, the freshman from Pocatello, Idaho. Big win. 3 points for Campbellsville. Tack on an extra point for King. And this thing's getting interesting here in Fort Wayne.